John Paul Gutschke, welcome to
Thank
Life
you.
on the Rock. And we loved your film, and you represent the high school category, A Day in the Life of the Priest. Tell us about your motivation. What were you trying to show in the film?
So mainly I was thinking I wanted to show the epic nature of what a priest is. And I think that there are two ways to do that, showing the ability, to relate to him, showing how you can relate to him as a human being, but also the epic nature of the sacraments, about what the priest does on a daily basis, how he puts himself out for people. So I thought that one way that would convey that really well, and which I included in my film, is him playing football.
Yeah.
Him playing football, he can jump in, have fun, but at the same time, he's in his cassock all day. I thought that was a good way to represent the fact that, he can jump in, have fun, and play football, but at the same time, he's always a priest and on duty 24/7. And then, at the end of the scene, as he gets a phone call, he rises to the call of duty. And I wanted that to be an inspiration for people to take up the vocation of priesthood and to realize the people who are priests, the men who are priests, to really be inspired to really live out their vocation and realize just how important and dramatic it can be at times.
Yeah, the complexities of life can sometimes encrust something, but it's good to have like that reminder of the essential role of the priest and what he brings to it. And I also like the human quality of him. I think it was your niece, you said?
Yes,
he was
that was
holding
my
your
niece.
niece, and
Yes.
that was beautiful.
Yeah, I wanted to show how from the young to the old, that's why I had my niece and my grandmother. I wanted to show for the young, he's instructing, and the little children like, the priest, and he's a good role model and figure for them to look up to. And as far as for the elderly, to show the sanctity of life from the womb to the tomb, so showing him taking care of the young children and also the elderly and the importance of the sacraments. That's why he was running. He wasn't just walking leisurely, he was running to the call of duty, and I knew that would be an exciting way to portray just how important a priest should take his vocation.
And my favorite part in it was when you come up to him and give him the granola bar back.
Yes.
It was just kind of a nice exchange of...
Yes, with that I was trying to show that the priest puts himself out throughout the day. So in the beginning, he throws the granola bar to me. Once he realizes I have to do this sick call, he throws it over to me because he doesn't have time to eat. He puts others first. But there's that joy in the charity. So when he comes back, finally at night, he's tired, he's exhausted. But he gives his life to God, and he wants to, kind of say his final night prayers. And I come back in the chapel, and I was trying to show with that God will reward you for your good actions. So he'll show you, it's his way of using a person to kind of put his arm around the priest. And through me, God is kind of saying, well done, good and faithful servant, here's your granola bar you didn't get to eat all day.
Yeah, and that too, just the encouragement from the people of God. I can say that as a priest, we get a lot of encouragement from the people we serve, and that's real important, especially like just praying for the priest. And I think you captured something about that, so that was good. Now, do you have priests in your life that have inspired you? Is that kind of what?
Yes, there are priests. There's an elderly priest who retired and moved to a priest's nursing home, but he was at the Blue Army Shrine, and he was always just very kind. His name was Father Paul, and he was always very kind, heard your confession at any time, just always putting himself out for you. And there's another priest who's a chaplain at a hospital, and he just lives such a simple life, but it's very moving to see just how seriously he takes his vocation of being a hospital chaplain, and how much he loves taking care of the people there and giving them the sacrament at that very tender time in their life, when they're on their deathbed, and how much joy it brings him.
Now, you're only in high school. What are your plans for the future? Do you have a dream?
Well, my first goal is to bring as many people to heaven as possible, and to draw people to Christ, through whatever I do. And I think that film is a beautiful way to do that. I really want to move their hearts to accept the natural law, God's natural law in their heart, and to, hopefully one day become Catholic themselves, but to really reach out to everyone, no matter who they are, and to really inspire them to live out life in a way, become the men and women that God created them to be.
Yeah, so films are a great way to do that. So.
That's why I was always so moved by it. I can see the impact that one film can have in someone's life. It can really change their eternal destiny around just by seeing some truth. And when they see it and it emotionally resonates with them, just how much they can really, you know, their heart can be changed and moved and, you know, can really save them.
John Paul, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Father.